Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the one and only show? Live from Houston, Texas. It's the go-to girl, professional comedian, TV producer, and founder of MarriedDate.com. It's millionaire matchmaker, Amber.
Hey guys, welcome into an all-new episode of the Amber Neal Show, aka the Matchmaker Hotline. Guys, today we have a really good show for you. We're talking about 9 ways to not be used and how do you trust again when you have trust issues. So we're going to give you some advice on how to do all those things. But most importantly, we have a very special guest on the show today. We're going to start seeing her on the regular because listen, as a matchmaker, I need y'all to go see her first, okay? Because some of y'all try to lead with yuck mouth or missing teeth or just something going on. Like, you got to be able to like look presentable when you're actually dating. So we're going to talk to Dr. Shelly Canada. She has had some really horror stories, girl. I'm talking about, I need that. What's that mask that they wear for COVID now? This like that really good one. I bet you have to wear that, huh?
Every day.
Oh, girl, because sometimes your breath enters the room before you do, and that is a big problem.
Facts.
Okay. All right, let's welcome in my co-host, guys, all the way from the left to the right. It is a former NFL star on the NFLPA, on the Huddle Up Foundation, doing a lot of philanthropy work and charity work. Also has his own nonprofit organization and Amazon best-selling author, Believe So You Can Achieve. Y'all give it up for Ryan Yarborough.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And y'all sitting next to me, y'all know who he is. He is the man on the ones and twos, the man of steel, because he is tough as nails. He's the vice president of Boss Up Houston Network at Amber Neal Productions, and he is my co-host. Y'all give it up for DJ Houston.
Go
DJ.
Hey, I'm your DJ.
Yeah.
Go DJ.
I'm really one of those people that's really big on endorsements and testimonials because I think, you know, it's about relationships. All of it is about relationships. And this lady sitting next to me is my personal dentist. She has some hilarious pictures of me. She's going to use her blackmail if she ever gets mad at me. Y'all give it up for Dr. Shelly Canada. Smiles by Canada in the building. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey.
Okay,
Thanks for having me.
you are so funny. Probably because we're both Virgos, but not only are we both Virgos, we have the same birthday.
Yep, 10 years apart, man.
10 years apart.
Whoa, I did not know this. How did we not discuss this on the last show that she was here?
Because what we should have discussed is how nasty them strippers are at where do we go?
Yeah, like La Bear.
The Bear.
Uh-oh.
Honey, listen, wrinkles and Aspercream are not a fantasy,
Oh,
okay?
man.
If you have more wrinkles on your stomach than you do around your eyes, you need to retire, boo. They tried to give me a private dance for my birthday, and I'm like, he's all, ooh, and I'm like, ooh, like, are your joints sore or something? Like, I started smelling that Aspercream, you know? And I was like,
Big gay in the building.
no, seriously. I was like, sit down. What other side hustles you got? Because I can help you with that. But you're not a fantasy, and I wanted to try to get my money back, but I didn't spend my money. But anyway, girl, we had some crazy. That was a fun night.
That was a great night.
Remember that stripper flipped me upside down on
Oh,
the
yeah.
stage?
Oh, yeah.
I had on a dress. Anyway. So
Like, dang, I just saw
Amber's
the good
parties
stuff.
are always a blast.
the private parties.
That's
Okay.
right.
But we had the same birthday, and like I said, you know, I love Dr. Canada because I have to be honest, I am a wuss when it comes to going to the dentist. You know I am. Like,
Yeah.
like I will avoid it at all costs. I have to be like half dead to go see her. But the good thing about it is that she makes me. Is it the right bedside manner? Is that the right word? Like
Chairside manner.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
If you are a coward going to the dentist like me, this is who you need to go see. She's so gentle. She's so thorough. She literally explains everything she's doing. So there's no surprises.
Yeah,
and
I don't
it
like
makes sense.
surprises.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, I've had too many bad experiences on my own. So just learning how to calm a patient down. The first 5 minutes is a make or break for me. If I don't have your trust and your confidence, tell you the game plan, tell you how it's going to go, just take the fear out. That's right there is half my battle.
Girl, because we need your help today. Because listen, Listen, some of y'all need a dentist, not a matchmaker, okay? Your breath should not introduce you, okay? What is that? What is that smell? Everybody knows that smell when they walk in and you're like,
It's
how do you hide it?
It's dying tissue. It's dying gum tissue. It is. It's infected gum tissue. I'm not kidding. It's blood, pus, and disease
all that
and
good
old
stuff.
food.
Yeah.
I mean, I pulled barbecue out of people's teeth in chunks, and they've gone, "Oh, girl, I guess you know where I ate lunch," and I can guess what you had for lunch based upon how nasty some people's mouths are.
I can deal with blood and guts and all that stuff, but I don't think I can deal with what's inside people's mouth. Like
how
that
you
is
do,
just
girl?
right. Like
It's science to me at this point. After 32 years, it's just science. There have been maybe 2 people who I've almost had to leave on. Yeah, black mold on a denture is not a good look. My assistant couldn't come in the room.
Wow.
I couldn't look at it.
Wow.
And then at the end of the appointment, when I told her she needed a whole new set of dentures, she picked it up and put it back in her mouth, and I almost passed out.
I would have roasted her right on the spot.
woo.
That would have been. I would have
man.
went from a dentist to a comedian in the moment.
Well, I was
she
hungry
single?
before the show.
I'm gonna make
See
you
it?
lose weight if you spend a week with me,
was
man.
she single? I have to know. Was she single?
I didn't get that far. I don't ask that
Because-
question.
Listen.
I would assume so, based upon the look of that denture.
Because I know people are into their own kinky things and people like what they like, right? But I don't know any man out here.
Well, men don't. If you
I'm
can
put
take
it
your
this way.
teeth out, there's a little advantage
See?
there.
Oh,
See, he knows what I'm talking about. There's a whole
Y'all
different
bad.
world going
Y'all
on
bad.
there. You can make a side hustle.
Once you get to the fit club, you understand.
Why didn't
That's
I
right.
talk to you before I
You
did my
understand?
segment? God. I just did a segment on Fox talking about why men love older women. Dude, I
Oh
totally
my God.
missed that
That's
one.
just
Next time, okay,
Remember-
Isaiah.
Remember I tell you about that locker room talk?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's got to be a big
It's a whole
one.
lot of other stuff that go in the locker room that guys used to talk about.
You
Yeah.
gonna share?
Nah,
It's kind of like how we said on Diana's
that's
show.
even Vegas. Yeah, that's even
Yeah,
that's
we
even
house
worse
of
than
Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah.
If we guess it, will you tell us?
No.
Actually, it's just because I think people don't understand how people give you 8 seconds. They literally just.
That's it.
That's
And
it.
they're judged, and it's decided. It's very difficult to change. It takes weeks of work to change someone's first impression of you.
Wow, that's insane. Let me ask you, then we'll get the pro at the end to tell us. How do y'all tell people, man, your breasts stink?
Just like that.
That's what you say?
Well, the majority of the time, well, just like.
I was like, does he have some? Because I was gonna say either that or I'm giving him a mint or some gum.
Now my guys, I'll tell them.
Yeah.
Directly, hey man, you need to do something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, but somebody that I really don't know a whole lot, I'm not gonna directly tell them. I'll ask them if they want some gum or a mint, but I'm not gonna be talking to you directly, face to face. I'm gonna have to talk to you sideways, and that's it. Because
I just got this visual. Ryan's
you
like,
already know.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah, because
and that
face
is-
on, you can't
yeah.
do it.
he's like, I want to
It's
look out
just
this window. It's not towards the window.
I keep something. I don't want to get him no advertising, but I keep something in my pocket, or I keep a mint or something for those occasions.
reminds me when we were at the
That's
radio
sad. You have to do
station
that.
and there was somebody there that was there who had such bad breath you couldn't even use the microphone after them. Remember?
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
god!
Even after spraying it down with Lysol and everything, it was just
Seriously.
like such bad breath. Like the mic would be like here, and you're
It's
just
like,
like, what is
"Woo!"
that smell?
Oh.
Like,
It's supposed to
good
wipe
God.
their butt with it.
It's actually sulfur gas. It's actually sulfur. You know the rotten
How can
egg
y'all walk
smell?
around
Yeah.
like that and not like? How can you not taste the
How
fact
do
that
you
your
not
breath is
know
bad? You
that
know what I'm
smell
saying?
like an egg.
We probably get used to it.
Mm.
The person does.
It's like people who have body odor.
Right.
They
Probably
you know,
get
they
used to it.
become, or it's like if your cat peed in your house and you didn't smell it for 4 days, it's because you're used to your cat peeing in your house.
Disgusting.
Right.
You know,
I can't deal with that ammonia smell. Ugh.
so it's I know it's what our nose gets used to, really.
Well,
And that smell of bad breath will linger in your nose for about 4 hours. You can't get it out.
Yeah, like it's bad.
I mean,
How do you
it's
tell
a
people?
conversation
How do I
in
tell people?
dentistry.
It all depends. It depends. If it's a random stranger, I'm usually trying to be nice and offer them, if I have any, a mint or some gum.
Yeah.
If it's somebody that I really know, I usually just tell them, "Yo,
Right.
breath stink."
Right.
Just like that, "Yo, breath stink." Like, there's no. I'm sorry, but there is no trying to hide that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I can't beat around the bush. I can't go and sugarcoat it for you. Like, if your breath stank, I gotta tell you now because I don't want to continue talking to you while your breath stank.
Right, and that's like the texting, like we were talking about before. The conversation is going to really be yes, no, or it might just be I'm not going
Like,
to be
'cause you can't
conversating.
breathe.
Right,
Yeah, I'm not
right,
gonna be
right.
having
Yeah,
a
you're going to
conversation
have,
Because you can't.
you're
if-
holding your breath,
You're hol-
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is so gross, guys. We got to get into our topics today. 9 ways to not be used is to keep a stank breath. Okay, that's number 1. Nobody will ever try to be around you, I promise. But, we take hygiene for granted, but it's amazing. Everybody was raised different. Not everybody understands. I dated a guy in college. I would literally have to tell him, brush your teeth, take a shower. I mean, just basic stuff. And I'm like, how did you know that to meet me? Like, he was clean cut, when I met him. But then he got lazy as we started dating. He just I'm like, bro, it's like you're just gonna roll out of bed and go to work like that? That's disgusting.
Yeah.
It was disgusting because I know what I did to him the night before. Okay, guys, another show. All right, guys. Even if it's me, that's still like, go freshen up. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Anyway, guys, today we're talking about 9 ways to not be used and how to trust when you have trust issues. And I think anybody of a certain age, really 21 and above, has gone through heartbreak, has gone through disappointments, and we can be. They say that people mistake your kindness for weakness. And it's how to not be used. But let's jump into it, guys, because we talked about this a little bit on a previous show about trusting actions and not what people say. So we're going to jump into it. The first one, way not to be used, is to trust the pattern, not the apology. I've had to tell that could be a friend, a colleague, anybody, romantic. But I noticed this person that I was dating, and I noticed it was just a pattern. It was like this certain behavior just was repeated over and over, because I believe anybody deserves a second chance. I really do. Unless it's malicious or you flat out bust them trying to do something harmful to you. But for the most part, we all make mistakes and we all have to kind of learn each other. But after a while, and when I stopped dating him, I just said, this sounds like what you did to the last girl you dated and the girl before that. And it really was crazy. He wasn't even aware that was his pattern, and I think I had to kind of point that out to him to show him this is a pattern with you. And sometimes we are always wondering why we're single, but sometimes we got to analyze our own patterns so that we're not used, because we can have a pattern of giving freely, trusting blindly, just putting ourselves out there, and because we judge others how we see ourselves. So if I wouldn't mess you over, I wouldn't play you, I'm going to give you 100% a chance that you won't. So sometimes you got to be a little slower and slow down so that you can see the patterns that only come over time.
Yeah, let people earn your trust. I used to go in, 90% trusting because this person, so you must be like them. No, I've been burned too many times. Every step of my life you learn that you're going to be burned. So back it down. Give them the kind of trust you would give a stranger, and then let them build on that.
Amen.
You cannot trust blindly.
And I'm kind of that way. I always usually give 100 to start, and then I kind of you deduct from there. But now I'm kind of like, okay, we're going to get 50 and build up. Okay, how about that?
See, and I'm still at the point where I feel like I give too much trust right now, and I'm like Amber, it chips away once you start showing me the untrusty things, except for when it comes to my money. I don't trust no one when it comes to my money. So I'm just saying, other than that, I trust everybody, until you give me a reason not to trust you. Just because I feel like, this world already has so much doubt in it,
Well, there's a good baseline trust that you can give people. And if they come with references, it could be a little higher. But when you get into that, I'm going to trust you with my secrets and I'm going to trust you with my relationship, that has to be bumped
Right,
up.
I agree. You know, when it comes to more the intimate stuff, the more detailed stuff of my life, I am a little bit more shut down with that. You know,
Yeah.
nobody really knows that. But when it comes to just trusting you as a general person, you know, I very much try to read the energy around you before trusting you.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I trust you. Unless you have a black mass around you, I'm probably going to trust you. But it's one of those things where it's just because, I mean, as somebody who's had to fight a lot in my life to get people to trust me for no reason, just because, you know what I'm saying, I was just a guy, and I had to fight a lot of people to trust me for no reason, because I was like, I'm a loyal guy, I'm an honest guy, I am so honest that it hurts.
Right.
So, you know, so I've always been the type of person to just, you know what, I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean, and if I get burnt on the meanwhile, then oh well, you know what I mean, it happens. I just know that I can't take it too personal and move on.
What do you say, Ryan?
That's right. I totally agree with what everyone has said thus far, and I'm just looking at the topic once again. I'm the person, I'm not really into apologies. I've heard so many apologies over my life that it's like, I really don't care about apologies. I'm about the pattern more so than anything, because you can tell me sorry, you can, you know, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. You know, that's just the type of person I am personally, because of what I've gone through, you know, throughout my whole life. So I'm not into apologies.
They don't always mean something.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You have to see them mean it.
yeah, it's like, okay, whatever.
And you have a special circumstance too, with you being a pro athlete. You've gone through a level of people trying to use you that we haven't experienced. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, they're trying on this level. I can't imagine what Ryan's went through.
Yeah, all the ulterior motives and everything like that. That's what I mean. I have a good radar of, and I have a feel. Once again, it's a feeling. Okay,
Energy don't
it's
lie.
right. And that's what it comes down to. And I've always been in tune with my energy more so than anything. And once you're in tune with how you feel and where you're going and what you're doing, everything else really doesn't matter.
Kind of falls in line.
Yeah.
One thing about apologies, having an ex who's a narcissist at the utmost level, his daughter and I talk about how how getting an apology from someone is important when they've truly wronged you, that to see that they're sorry. But a narcissist can never say they're sorry. They're not. It is. You might as well rip their heart out, because they're not doing it. It's a sign of weakness, and narcissists only want to come from a source of power and domination. So they will not apologize to you. So that's a real big stickler. It's a joke about how her dad won't apologize, even when he is blatantly caught in the worst lie.
They don't want the mask to come off.
You know,
Yeah.
and that brings us over to the next thing that we're talking about on ways not to be used. You know, it's look for the red flags. You know, believe them when somebody shows them to you. So if somebody shows you they're a narcissist by saying, "I'm never wrong," you know, no matter what, I'll never say I'm sorry, then
They're always
believe
the
it.
victim.
Exactly.
In every story they tell, they're always the victim.
Yeah.
Every story.
And there's no winning with a narcissist. You either are a narcissist along with them and you feed into each other, or if you're an empathic person like Amber and I are, then you have to get away. It's the only way you're going to be safe.
Amen. That's a fact.
Right. So
Safe.
It is.
They're toxic
No,
in
I
every
understand.
form.
and I'm being a little sarcastic right now
No.
for the simple fact that when we get to talking about certain things, it's like you go into a certain state of mind, into a certain place, and it's like you have to laugh at certain
Yeah,
things.
you laugh it out.
You really do.
And
You
there's
do.
certain,
I
and
can-
there's certain
I can laugh
people,
back at
and there's
that.
certain people. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
right.
It's like, are you serious? Because once again, red flags. Okay, you smacked me in the face once. All right, for no particular reason. All right, so am I going to continue to just let you smack me in the face? Okay, you smacked me in the face the first time. So now what am I supposed to do? Because once again, it's not your fault. It's my fault.
Right.
All right. When you realize certain things, like it's my fault. I'm allowing you. I just allowed you to smack me in my face. Okay.
Yeah, you're
And I
allowing
didn't say
yourself to
anything-
be a victim.
Yeah, I didn't say anything or do anything about it. So, is that the other person's fault?
There's a little
Partially,
bit of both.
but majority is my fault for allowing it.
That's right. We have
Well,
to own
and you have to
ourselves in
look
it.
at why you yourself have this need to be a victim, because then it allows people to feel sorry for you, so you get sympathy, And, griping about somebody, making them the bad guy all the time is addictive.
Yeah.
And finally I had to see that in myself, that like, you're allowing yourself to be in a relationship where you don't feel loved and cared for. So you're getting something out of it. It's that victimization. You have to move on.
That's knowledge. And that's
It
wisdom.
is.
That's
It's hard to
knowledge. That's
accept that
and
knowledge. I had a
wisdom.
lot of
That's
therapy.
knowledge. Oh, okay. I got you.
I think the next one I know I'm guilty of. What is it,
Right.
Ryan?
Don't fall in love with potential.
The downside of being an empath.
with
Yeah.
potential,
I can tell
okay?
you,
We
can
love
be.
potential,
We
man.
love it.
Ugh,
It was
it's
so fun.
like erotic.
Yes. Potential. Anyway, guys, go on my website, amberneal.com. I have a brand new shirt I just designed called No More Build-A-Boo. Get yours today. Okay? True story.
Yeah, now, as far as when it comes to that, falling in love with potential, that's falling in love with what you think somebody can do and how you think they'll be able to do it for who? For you. All right, when it's all said and done, that's my realization and that's my outlook on everything, okay? But when that person does not do that, you become disappointed, okay? And that person may not, and I'm speaking on potential because not in relationship-wise, but I've heard that I had so much potential throughout my whole life as a child, growing up, blah, 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 going on even to my adult life. And I'm like, that's what you feel as if I can do, and that's what you think that I should be doing. You seeing potential in me, I appreciate it, okay, because I'm not going to knock it. But even if you have me going to the 10th level, I'm feeling as if I can go to the 50th level, okay? So your potential that you think is in me, I'm way past that already. So, and just when it comes to the relationship side, it's really, that's a lack of communication when it comes down to it, because what do you want out of me?
Exactly.
Okay.
Set
Or
the
you want to be the
expectations.
potential that your mom envisions for
Right.
you. Like your mom wants you to be a doctor, but you really want to go be a scientist in a lab somewhere. I mean, you could create some cancer treatment if you were let go on your own path.
Right.
Whereas you might be the world's worst doctor and get malpractice suits because you hate what you're doing. I've seen doctors who want to go be Little League coaches.
Right.
And they had to do it in their nighttime to just fulfill that love. And finally, they just became a horrible doctor and had to quit. And well, they just quit without him.
The thing that comes to mind is pageant moms. Ugh. I that's the worst to me. Like if you weren't pretty enough to be in a pageant yourself, don't enforce that on your kid, okay? Because you see some of these pageant moms, the mom looks kind of woe out, and the kid is actually attractive. I'm not really sure how, but it's like, ooh, somebody looks good. We're gonna put them in there, represent. Listen, guys, that is don't be those helicopter parents that just hover over your kids and force them to do whatever your dream for them is, because that is going to attest to a lot of their mental health and their well-being in life in general. So, all right, guys, the next one today we're talking about ways to not be used is know when to let it go, man. We talked about that in the last show. Sometimes it's hard to know when to stay and when to go, but when you feel resistance and you've tried, you've given it a good, honest try, but go back to number one. Once you see the patterns, let go. They're choosing that. They're doing it, and it's hurtful, and you don't want to feel the rejection of they're not picking me, they're not changing for me. If they want to change, they will. Trust me, even the person who's not ready for a relationship will get ready if the right person comes along. And I know it's hurtful to feel like, wow, I wanted them to pick me, and they didn't. But they didn't. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Just statistically wise, based on 3%, you have hundreds of thousands of options. So move along. Right?
I agree. It's one of those tough things it's hard to actually admit that it's time to move on. But as Amber said, as soon as you start feeling that resentment, that okay, I've tried, I've said this, I've spoken my piece, then it's time to speak your piece and say it's time to go, because is your happiness truly worth this relationship that's keeping you where you are? I can't tell you how many countless relationships I've been in and didn't want to go because of potential and because I didn't know when to let go. My ex-husband was the perfect example. I should have let go before we even got married, and I didn't let go until it was too late. you know? And so I started realizing, like, okay, now instead of sitting here trying to fix the potential or sit here and be like, oh, you know, we can make this work if we just, you know, take a moment to talk about it. Well, talking isn't working, and because clearly they're not listening, it's time to let go. It's time to move on. Because at that point, now you're just wasting their time, your time, and you could be missing out on your potential true love, you know, because they could see you're in a unhappy, whatever you want to disguise yourself as in a relationship, you know what I mean? And they see that, and so they just move on.
That's real. A lot of people literally miss that right person that comes along.
Yeah,
because they're
right
busy
place.
holding on to, and energy don't lie, as we said. They can tell your energy's caught up, your energy's unhappy, and that's all I say. Cry because you're leaving, not because you're staying.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
so
it's like wanting an alcoholic to quit drinking.
Yeah.
You can't choose that for them. If you and children and their family are not enough, then that person is going to have to hit skid row, maybe below skid row.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And one of the other ways, you know, that you can go and find a way not to be used is that if it feels wrong, you know, you got to listen to your gut, your second brain. Listen to it. If it feels wrong, it's probably because it is wrong.
walks like a duck. Talks like a duck. Is a duck.
So, you know, it's really, I know it's tough that when you come on and you're like, oh, well, you know, there's something there, but I really see this potential again, you know, again, it's that potential that you're really seeing. Everybody sees potential, but when they're showing you those red flags, you need to believe them. You need to know that, you know, hey, okay, my gut's telling me something, just, I can't pinpoint it, but it's something just doesn't feel right. That's the time to say it's time to go.
I heard my preacher say it the best. He said, your intuition is your voice of God. That is your protection. That is your instinct. That is your God. The first voice you think, that's God's intuition. That first voice. Anything past your first gut instinct is the enemy trying to play you. I was like, wow, I never thought about it like that. But that's true though, because that first instinct is usually that right.
I mean,
So that was your first instinct was to go to the strip club with the
It was.
with the ring.
Yeah. And I was
Say,
talking.
that's what I'm doing.
Hey.
Say, I'm going.
Yeah.
Shelly, you want to go? Yeah. First
And I blamed it
instinct.
on my pastor. I said he told me to go my first instinct. I said LeBear's not. We should have went to center phones.
That's hilarious.
Now my first instinct now is to start my own strip club for women
Yeah,
because
we're gonna screen all
Trash.
applicants.
That's right.
trash.
I'm gonna check their teeth.
Well, never, girl. Girl,
You check their abs.
You check their.
Dr.
dog.
Kennedy's like, I'll check their teeth. And Amber's like, I'll check everything else out.
I'll check their draws for gray hairs, because we ain't looking for that. All right. Ryan, what's the next one?
Man, you have to be careful of who you vent to.
Ooh,
That part right
ooh.
there.
Well,
Some
right,
people just
right.
want the dirt.
I mean, I think I feel like on one of the other shows that we've done before, because y'all know we've done a lot of shows in the past year, and I know she's done even more since then. I feel like these are some things that we were very redundant on. You know, this is, which means to tell you, you know, that
You
people.
stuck on stupid.
And it's very relevant. It's
Y'all
very, it's
understand
very
as a
relevant.
date coach how many
very
times
relevant.
I have to say the same thing to people and repackage it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the different. Yeah.
it's crazy.
SOS.
It's crazy.
SOS,
It's so crazy. But, you know, the whole, you know, be careful who you vent to. I know as younger me, I had to learn the hard way, you know, because if you were my coworker and I was mad at the boss right then and there, bam, the first person to walk next to me, you going to get the earful. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man,
And
running right into the boss.
till the day that I found out I'm getting fired because I was talking trash about the boss to the person he's sleeping with. You know what I'm saying? So you learn who to vent to.
Have y'all been betrayed with that? Like I had a coworker. She was my mentor in the matchmaking industry, and I started surpassing her numbers. So she started a whole scandal with the dating service I worked with, and she was two-faced. So she invited me to her wedding, but then she'd tell our boss that I was stalking her. Okay, and I'm like,
my gosh.
what? And she would talk about the boss to me and vice versa. And anyway, long story short, I wound up getting fired. But I want to thank you, Brenda, for doing that, because if you wouldn't have done that, and her name wasn't Karen, it was Brenda. But Brenda is the reason I am who I am today, in the sense of, because I got fired that day. You don't fire a closer like me, trust me. But the thing about it is because I got fired, I started my own business.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't have, if I wouldn't have
did
got
you a
fired,
favor in
she
the end.
did.
Hey, Brenda, we got something for you. Here's the mic.
You still
Boom.
Thank you.
Oh, she was crazy though. And then you know what's so funny? I told the lady that fired me. I said you will find out what a snake she is. Sure enough, 6 months later they called me back. Oh, we found out she's a liar. She was promising people all these things, you know, to try to close them, and found out. And they're like, oh, will you come back? And I'm like, hell no, it's too late now.
Yeah.
Now I'm your competitor, so bite me. All right.
Hey.
Ryan, did you have anything else to add about that?
As far as being careful to who you
Yeah.
went to, no, I learned that a long time ago. Once again, I learned a lot of early lessons that are coming back again. You know, to the point to where it's like, okay, they're coming back just to test me.
Ooh, that's where
Because
I feel
you
like
know better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you know better. You know, but when it comes down to it, I'm not going to tell anybody something that someone else doesn't already know, one, or that I don't care that is out there.
Or you wouldn't say it in their
Already.
face.
All right. I
Exactly.
wouldn't say it at all.
Yeah, right.
You know
You'll
what I'm saying?
get in big trouble.
Yeah.
I did when I was going through my divorce. I was just anything would happen. I'd call my mom. She was my vent, and I just vented so good. And then I'd go to therapy, and I'd kind of figure out the game plan. But Mom, I just vented to. And finally, one night, my aunt called me up, and she said, "Do you know what you're doing to your mom?"
Aw.
And I was like, oh my God, my mom's like the rock, you know, she can handle this. I just thought, but she said, no, she really sits there and worries about what you're going to do. And then I'd go work it out with my therapist, and, you know, it would always come out good, but it was like I needed a vent. So I finally realized I need to vent to the therapist.
Exactly.
Because that's what I pay her for. And I told my mom all my solutions.
I
okay.
love that.
And see,
Switched it around.
and then my mom was just like, "Wow, you're really figuring this out," you know. And it was good to run the solution past Mom because she has so much more
knows
life
you.
experience at that point than I did. But yeah, but you gotta watch who you download to, because you
Right.
can overwhelm that person with anxiety and problems.
That's a reverse
part
look
too.
at it. I like that.
Especially your mom.
yeah, I know. I'm not hurting that aspect.
My mom is
She's-
the last person I tell
Right.
things to, the majority of the time. Not because she doesn't understand, but once again, I'm the oldest, and I don't like to worry people.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, and it's just natural
You're
for
the
moms
family
to
leader
worry.
now. You're
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
you don't want, you have to take care of her at this point in life. I'm in the take care of my mom phase now
Yeah, me too. My mom's 75 now too, so it's kind of it's funny how it's like they're the parent and then like you become the parent. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, Mom, okay, no, you're not going out tonight. Okay, you go out to that bingo party. That's it. I want you in the house by 6:00. All right, guys. So today we're talking about 9 ways to not be used, and so trust your intuition is the next one. We kind of talked about that a little bit more, but you know, so we don't really need to repeat that. So I'm going to go past that one.
Yeah.
Remember your worth. I mean, let's just jump to that one
That's heavy
because
right there. Priceless.
boundaries are what you set when you know your worth. That's why they always say you got to love yourself before you can love somebody else. I used to think that was so corny, but when I really thought about it, I'm like, well, if I don't love me, I'm teaching people how to treat me. And
Right.
if I just keep allowing you to get away with whatever you want, I just have no boundaries. You know, who's really at fault here?
You know, and I want to say, I know it's kind of jumping to the last point right there, but within coincided, I feel like these 2 points should have been right next to each other. You know, because you got to remember your worth, which remembering your worth means you're not going to lower your standards. You're not going to settle because you have those boundaries. You know what you're worth, so you know I'm not going to go and, I am a star pizza, you know what I'm saying, at $20 a slice. I am not going to settle for no Little Caesars, because you knew I was hungry before we started the show, and I got those images out of my head already. So you know, you got to remember that worth, and don't settle. Don't ever lower those standards for anybody, because if you do, then that's the second you break your own self-respect.
That's right.
If you drop your worth, you sit here and you let people just walk all over you, and that means you have no self-respect for yourself, which means you have no self-love.
Yeah, when CC's
right.
Pizza starts knocking, you don't answer the door.
At all.
will.
You wait for A-star pizza. Okay, thank you very much.
How funny. A-star pizza.
Oh, hey. Speaking of A-Star, make sure y'all guys are tuning in every Monday to A-Star TV. You can catch the Amber Neal Show at 7 p.m. across all their platform little thingies because they got
Apple
an
TV,
app. They
Fire
got
TV,
exactly.
They have an app.
They have a mobile app too, so you can catch it on Facebook as well. But yeah, definitely catch them. And catch us all the time.
And catch this info from our friends over at Events and Adventures and Married Day. If you're single and ready to mingle, go see Dr. Canada at smilesbycanada.com and then go to eventsandadventures.com and make an appointment. Tell you heard about us here at the Amber Neal Show or Boss Up Houston. They're going to give you 6 months free with for basically a 12-month membership. You get 18 months. And check out our friends at marriedate.com, Houston's first private social club just for couples, because I really believe who you're friends with in your marriage can make or break your marriage.
Absolutely. And so I know E&A is going to give you 6 months free when you go and mention Boss Up Houston Network, but Married Day will go ahead and give you 10 events for free.
Yes.
If you go and tell them you heard us at Boss Up Houston.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We'll be right back after a word from our friends.
Hey singles, do you feel it? The feeling like it's time to start having fun again? If you do, then you're ready to celebrate with Events and Adventures. There's never been a better time to join than right now. Meet new people with a packed calendar of fun events, exciting adventures, and future memories. It's time to live life to the fullest, to high five, skydive, and feel alive again. That feeling is here at Events and Adventures. If you're single and ready to celebrate, visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
Married is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.
Hey guys, it's your girl matchmaker, comedian Amber Neal, and today I am bringing you my brand new book, hot off the press, guys. I have so many copies of these. Please get one, okay? It is called How My Kitty Betrayed Me, and it's about the women's lib movement and how one thing they don't tell you is, yes, we want money, education, and rights like men, but one thing that the women's rights movement doesn't explain to you is how we're still women. We still attach. We release a chemical in our brain that attaches us to every single person we have sex with. It's called soul ties. And one thing I can tell you that will keep you from your God-given purpose, let your kitty betray you when you get distracted, okay? All I'm trying to say is, we want all the same rights as men, but at the end of the day, picking your partner is the most important decision you'll ever make. And so I challenge you to get a copy of my book today so that you can learn from my mistakes that I made, thinking that, hey, if men can do it, so can we. But trust and believe, after being a single parent for 25 years, your kitty betrayed you, okay? Get your copy today, amberneal.com, or more information, go to Amber Neal Show on Facebook. Get your copy. I'll be glad to autograph it and send it out to you today. Hey guys, welcome back to the Amber Neal Show, aka the Matchmaker Hotline. The phones are always open if you guys want to call in, 866-479-8752. And we can put you on the sexiest singles sofa. We might have to turn that into a chair, okay? But we'll definitely hook you up. If you're single, y'all go to matchmakerhotline.com for more information about that. If you want to book any of the co-hosts today that you see for any of your events you have coming up, y'all go to matchmakerhotline.com for more information. And welcome back into the show, my co-host Ryan Yarbrough and DJ Houston.
What? And guess what? This just in. I don't know. Every time I see this setup, I'm always like, I feel like I'm on the news, like breaking news, and this is just now in.
We get to role play our fantasy house. What games did y'all play when y'all were kids? Let me not forget. Welcome in, Dr. Canada.
Hey, that's what I should have said. And this just in, breaking news. We have Dr. Shelley Canada on the show to tell us about bad breath and why your breath stinks.
What games did y'all play as your kid, real quick? It might shock you, some of the ones I played.
Besides sports, Ding Dong Ditch.
That one right there, classic.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, besides Ding Dong Ditch and hide and seek, obviously, we did board games. I did Monopoly. Monopoly was like my favorite, which is why I'm such a boss nowadays.
I'll beat you at Monopoly.
Girl, you would never. I have stayed up for 3 days straight playing Monopoly.
That's fine.
Do that. Oh, it is on. Y'all hear that? Mark the date. Mark the date at 5:09 p.m. on whatever date you're watching this.
But I want to get the new one that's got the credit card machine.
Oh my gosh, no, they have so many new ones
Yeah,
right now.
so
Like right now,
cute.
they just came out with the Office themed one.
Yeah.
They have a Brooklyn Nine-Nine themed one. They have a Parks and Rec themed one.
I love that show.
Oh, I trust me.
So what games did you play
Monopoly
in
is my
Canada?
game.
I played Operation.
Ooh, I love that game.
Operation.
Yes.
Poor
I love
Sam.
Operation.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to make myself look real crazy when I tell you the games I played. So we lived on 20 acres. Let me preface this by saying we lived on 20 acres in the country. We didn't have nothing to do. So our version of hide and seek was called Serial Killer. One of us would be the serial killer, and the other two sisters would have to run, and whoever was, yeah. So we played serial killer.
So you were always that.
Yes, and then I had this really weird fantasy of serving. We would get out in the mud and get those little tin pie things,
Oh, and you
and
said
make
mud pies?
mud pies to the prisoners.
You know, the other thing that we did is we were a little reckless.
We play prison.
To the
That's what I'm trying to say.
She's like, yeah, we robbing stores. We doing
that's
some.
something to play. That's something to play. See, I didn't play those games.
But you gotta understand, my parents didn't let us watch TV like that, so we literally just imagined.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
we didn't get to listen to music like that unless it was country. That's it. So
We
just
had like
kinda
3
imagine it.
stations and 2 radio stations. My cousins and I, my cousin could mimic anyone's voice on the radio, and we would crank call people and tell them, "You've won $100," and we would tell them the address, and they would show up at the studio and collect
That's
their
a good
money.
one.
Oh, we did that
is
all the
good.
time. We're
Mischievous
terrible.
Prank
Virgos.
calls. God, you know how long it's been since prank calls have been a thing? Because now, I mean, it's hard.
Ooh,
It's so hard to
write
do
that
prank
down.
calls. Look, she's like, we're going to do prank calls.
We have a phone. I just realized we could do prank calls.
Look at her. Look at this.
You want us to do a prank call for you? Call in, and we'd love to prank somebody
Oh,
for you.
which speaking
That'd
of,
be fun.
if you want, besides
We should.
prank calls, if you need a mediator, we're doing, we're
Oh,
taking
yeah.
casting calls for Battle of the Exes.
Yes.
So if you and your ex need to battle something out, he kept your toaster, you kept his fryer, and y'all want to battle it out, y'all need a mediator,
Yes.
give us a call. Matchmaker hotline, 866-479-8752, and we will be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Okay?
Awesome.
And we will let you know whether y'all need to stay away from each other, get a restraining order, if you got something there where maybe you can be friends, or if y'all guys just need to sleep together and get it over with. Okay?
Now, here's the twist to the show, guys. This show is also co-hosted by my ex-boyfriend from New York. He's a professional comedian, and if you go back and look at our YouTube channel, you can see where we went first. We sat in the hot seat and we let DJ Houston mediate, and DJ Houston determined we needed a part 2 to our show. So I don't know. We're definitely going to put ourselves back in the hot seat, but it's really funny. And so when we come on with my ex Derek being a comedian, I'm a comedian, we're going to help defend. I'm going to help the girls. He's going to help the guys, and we're going to help you defend your positions from a professional comedian
I
standpoint.
get again to be the judge and the jury and the executioner. You know what I'm
Sorry
saying?
for you.
Exactly, because as a Libra, I am very fair for the most part, but I'm stern. So once I make up my mind,
that's
is it. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Like once that gavel goes gavel, gavel, gavel. Sorry, I was watching 30 Rock the other day, and he just goes out of nowhere, and he's just like, gavel, 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 because I lost my gavel and I can't find it.
Oh yeah, I remember that episode. Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna jump into our topics. We're gonna spend probably about just like 10 minutes on these, so we can wrap up our show on time. Not even 10 minutes, probably. Maybe like 5 minutes. So we're just gonna kind of go through these, and because this is just really, it's obvious. You don't have to expand upon this too much. But how to trust when you have trust issues. Lord knows I have had trust issues. I think everybody on this panel has had trust issues at some point in life. That you met somebody that changed you to where you're not quite as trusting or innocent as you used to be, even if they took your innocence away. So let's jump into the topics real quick. Number 1, communicate how you're feeling and give them a chance to understand your triggers. Be open, be vulnerable, and learn their pains too. And that's what I was telling you guys before. People are healed or unhealed, and then when healed people will say words like, you're triggering me, I need boundaries. You know what I mean? People that are unhealed or they're not even aware that they are toxic won't even use those words. So what do you guys say?
Go ahead. You take the lead on this one, right?
Oh, well, when I seen the trigger part, it just automatically came to me to where people don't have the trust issues is because sometimes people may know your triggers and they continue to try to trigger them. And even when you're past certain triggers, people still try to trigger certain things. It's like, you're doing this on purpose. Okay, so guess what? I'm really gone past you, you know. And when you don't get a reaction, as we were speaking on our previous show, that when you don't give people a reaction that try to get a reaction from you, then, I mean, they can only do one or two things. They can continue to try or they can veer off.
Right, and I just want to kind of
stalker.
Hey. Just because you saw me outside your bushes last night, don't mean you to call me a stalker, okay? I was just making sure you were safe. Nobody else was stalking you. But to add over to what Ryan was saying, you know, about how some people use your triggers and stuff to just constantly try to trigger you, I'm going to say refer back to the first half of the show where when they show you the red flags, you got to believe the red flags, okay? Because that's just somebody who's toxic. If they're constantly using, if you cannot be yourself and you cannot let your walls down around them, then they need to move on.
I try to teach my daughter that other people in her life who push her buttons, to practice on them because they're not as important to her as like a true relationship or a family member crossing your boundaries. So practice on people who aren't your most important person in your life.
Not emotionally
You
invested.
get to practice being tough and firm and setting boundaries with them, and then it's easier to practice it with people you're more vested in. But if you don't exercise that muscle, you get weak and you lose that.
Absolutely.
What's the next one?
The next one that we're talking about on how, you know, to trust when you have trust issues is trust yourself. You got to remember that you can now make those better decisions because you've made these mistakes in the past, you know. And as I like to say all the time, don't regret anything. Know it as a mistake and learn from it. Because you can learn from mistakes, but you can't learn from regrets.
That's right.
Regrets mean you're pitying in it. You're staying stuck in it. So just remember, you know, that it was a quick lesson. You learned your lesson. Identify those red flags from now on. So now you know, hey, so-and-so did this when we were at the restaurant, and I noticed that he did it constantly to all the other people. So now that's a red flag. If I go on a first date with somebody and I notice, oh, you did this at the restaurant too? Red flag. I'm not going to go on to the second date with you. You know, you just got to realize, trust yourself. Trust that first instinct that you have.
I think the biggest problem in relationships is when people try to make people that were meant to be a season or a lesson, they try to make them a lifetime.
Right.
And that's where we make the mistake. What's the next one, Ryan?
Don't react based on past trauma. Aim to not assume the worst immediately.
And that right there is a tough one. Right?
That's a cheating red flag.
Like,
women go immediately to you're cheating on me if they've been cheated on in the past.
Right.
Exactly. And then you think in the back of your head, am I being set up? You know, because this
you start going to those what ifs and
Does this person really know somebody else, or does this person coming to me directly like this on purpose? You know, for some particular reason. But when it comes to that, you cannot react to everything once again because this person literally may not know anything about you. Might be the first date, might be the first time you talk to the person. We're talking about relationship, and relationships come in all aspects and all forms, okay? Friendships, things of that nature. But it's like, look, we can speak, we can continue to speak, things of that nature. But further down the line, it may come back up again. You'd be like, you remember when we initially met and this particular thing happened? They may have forgot all about it. You know, and it's like, why did that happen? I'm totally oblivious. You know, so then it's like, okay, well, I want to talk to you about some things. If it's that serious and if it's that heavy on your mind. Right. But once again, it may have just been something from the universe testing you.
And if you know you still have past trauma, stop trying to date.
Yeah,
Get
It's
healed
not
first.
time.
Right. Get
You
healed.
will attract another version of your ex, and until you heal.
Say keep
Yeah,
it moving.
if you
'Cause you are
don't
the
if you don't
common
have
denominator.
some kind of personal epiphany, you're just going to repeat it. We can
Guaranteed.
tell you 100% you will continue to repeat.
Listen.
And some cheaters, I have seen, I'm old enough now where I have seen cheaters learn their lesson and quit cheating because they've blown it a million times, and they finally see they're the common denominator. If someone has aged appropriately and learned enough lessons, I do believe in some second chances for cheaters, but I don't know that I want to be that person to give it to them. You know what I mean? That's a tough one. We would have to be friends for a long time before I would trust you in a relationship.
I knew somebody who cheated all the way when they got married in high school, and then they stayed together 30 years. She's just now starting to flip out about it. Like, she's very passive aggressive. She's just now starting to he's starting to pay for all the stuff he did because she literally just swept it under the rug and didn't address it when it happened. She just thought that's what he does. That's what's going to happen. But now it's a problem. You got to talk about it, guys. We got 2 minutes, so we got to wrap this up real quick and get back with our afterthoughts. But the next one is work on yourself and self-love before dating, which I kind of already talked about, I guess. You will only end up projecting your issues and trying to change the other person if you're not mentally ready. Enough said. What's the next one? Last one.
The very last one on how to trust when you have trust issues is the current person you are dating is not your ex-partner.
Say that again.
The
Dude.
person you are dating is not your ex.
They're not.
And let me tell you, from personal experience, because that's what I used to do all the time. It was like I would just go straight back to, my ex was doing this all the time.
Exactly.
Every time he was 5 minutes late, it was because he was cheating on me. So, you have to be. At those very exact moments, you have to go and take a step back and remember, don't compare them to your ex because they are not your ex. They are completely somebody different with their own set of mess ups, okay? So don't sabotage a new relationship just because you're just traumatized by it. Instead, step back, realize, I'm being triggered by something my ex did, and then go talk to your therapist about it.
Yes.
So that way you can go and get healed up so you can date.
Go and let's normalize therapy.
Right. Let's do it.
Because
So helpful.
don't make your new person pay for what your ex did, or you will stay eternally single. I'm telling you, nobody wants to be accused all the time, or be nagged all the time, or be annoyed all the time. Like, give me a chance. If I did something to make you feel, if my actions showed you that I'm not trustworthy, act on that. But until then, I'm not hurt. Okay.
Absolutely. I used to sit here and be the one that was like constantly sabotaging my new relationships because, I was attracting the same people that I was. I was hurt and I was all the time broken and was the one that was questioning. So all the time, the people, even when I started to heal up, those were still, because I wasn't all the way healed. So I was still attracting them. So at the point where I got tired of constantly from every guy that I was dating, like, are you cheating on me? Because, I work in entertainment. Even before I was DJ, I worked in the bars. Like, I may say that I get off at 2 a.m., but I might not be home till 4 or 5 because I might not get off till 4 or 5. So I used to have a bag packed all the time saying, oh, really? We're going down this route again? Well, let me just grab my bag and move on to the next relationship because I don't have time for that.
And let me blow all your minds, honey. Statistically, people cheat more during work hours.
Yeah.
Standard 9 to 5 work hours than they do at night. So just because he comes home or she comes home or whatever, it don't matter. If they want to cheat, they will. They'll find a way. They'll do it in the bathroom at the bar, okay? It does, or in their car. I'm just saying, if people do what they want to do, quit making excuses for you and them. We got to take a quick break, guys. But when we come back, we got our afterthoughts. We can't wait to share with you some final thoughts of what we thought about today's show.
Events and Adventures knows how to make the most of being single. Get social, in person, try new things, and just have fun. Join Events and Adventures. We've been doing the single life right for over 30 years. 30 great events every month. Just visit eventsandadventures.com.
Married is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.
Hey guys, it's your girl matchmaker, comedian Amber Neal, and today I am bringing you my brand new book, hot off the press, guys. I have so many copies of these. Please get one, okay? It is called How My Kitty Betrayed Me, and it's about the women's lib movement and how one thing they don't tell you is, yes, we want money, education, and rights like men, but one thing that the women's rights movement doesn't explain to you is how we're still women. We still attach, we release a chemical in our brain that attaches us to every single person we have sex with. It's called soul ties. And one thing I can tell you that will keep you from your God-given purpose, let your kitty betray you when you get distracted, okay? All I'm trying to say is, you know, we want all the same rights as men, but at the end of the day, picking your partner is the most important decision you'll ever make. And so I challenge you to get a copy of my book today so that you can learn from my mistakes that I made, thinking that, hey, if men can do it, so can we. But trust and believe, after being a single parent for 25 years, your kitty betrayed you, okay? Get your copy today, amberneal.com. Or more information, go to Amber Neal Show on Facebook. Get your copy. I'll be glad to autograph it and send it out to you today.
Are you single? Maybe you're divorced or new in town. It's time to meet your match with Events and Adventures. Whether you're low-key or adventurous, come hang out with tons of like-minded people at exciting group activities. The best part? Everyone is single. From happy hours and trivia nights to outdoor adventures and weekend getaways, Events and Adventures has something for everyone. We're all here for the same reason. So come be part of a community made for singles. Your match is waiting for you to make your move. Visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Ryan Yarborough, Mr. Believe So You Can Achieve. On today's show, we went over a few different topics, but one of the main topics was how to know that you're being used, okay? And one of the things that came out about how to know when you're being used is knowing your self-worth, okay? First and foremost, you have to love yourself in order to love someone else or to allow other people to love you. All right. Do not lower your standards. That's one thing that you can do to combat that. But always know that you are better than what others may think of you. Okay. If you don't believe in yourself, like I said, if you don't believe so you can achieve, then you're never going to get the most worth out of yourself or the most worth out of any and everybody that surrounds you. So versus being a victim and always think that you're being used, know your self-worth just for the simple fact that you cannot be used unless you allow somebody to use you. So until we talk again, as I always say, believe so you can achieve and have a peaceful and productive rest of the day. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Shelley Canada. I'm a dentist here in Houston, and I would love it if you'd visit my website at www.smilesbycanada.com. And I just wanted to briefly say, you know, I know Halloween's around the corner, but we don't want you to be naturally scary with your mouth. First impressions should not be, they're already dressed for Halloween. We want you to have that great smile, especially if your job is in the public where you're talking to people. If you see people back off from you, then you totally have to realize that something is going on with your breath. So don't let bad breath stop you from getting your dreams. Come see someone, anyone, me, I'm available. Let's make it happen. It's easy to get rid of your stanky breath. I can easily handle that. That is ABC's of dentistry. We want you to be in good shape. So please take care of that first, or you basically close all the doors. Even your friends don't want to tell you how bad it's being. So please pay attention to the cues people give you, and go to your best friend and say, hey, it's been, a couple of years since I've had my teeth cleaned. Have you ever noticed I have bad breath? Please cross that border and ask them, have they noticed that about you? If they give you honest feedback, go to that bluntly honest friend and ask them, because that's what's important. I mean, if you want to get ahead in life, you have to come across as healthy, that you take care of yourself. If your teeth don't look great, go get some braces. They've actually done studies where braces make you look more intelligent. So do the intelligent thing and go get your teeth fixed.
What's up, guys? It's your boy DJ Houston, and it is the afterthoughts time, which means I get to tell you everything that I really, really wanted to say on the show. And let me just start by saying, girl, talking about that bad breath, like, woo! I can't tell you how many times I have walked up to somebody and just, excuse me, but this, I cannot, like, here, go over there, come up with some kind of excuse to get away, because I cannot stand to talk to somebody with bad breath. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that the phone I hear ringing? Hello? Matchmaker Hotline? Yeah, this is the Matchmaker Hotline. Guess what? It's the holiday season. Dr. Canada be constantly busy, and she ain't got time for people who got bad breath. But she will make some time, so make sure y'all guys go and call her. Check it out, because you don't want to be walking around here during the holiday season, when we can finally start getting face-to-face back with our coworkers and our friends, because, it's been a crazy year with COVID and all. Make sure you're getting that mouth checked constantly. If not, at least carry some Listerine strips in your bag, because come on. Ooh-wee. And, talking about today's show, if y'all guys really don't want to get used, do as Amber said in the show. Walk around with that stank breath, because trust me, ain't nobody going to want to come around you when you got that stank breath. Y'all guys make sure y'all stick around for some afterthoughts from Amber.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the show today. Thanks to Dr. Canada for coming on the show today. Thanks for my grill girl, okay? Because it is that first impression, I'm telling you, and your breath shouldn't enter the room before you do, okay? That first impression, you get 8 seconds when somebody meets you. They size you up and they tell you if they're ever going to deal with you again. And we're talking about business as well. This isn't just dating. This is also business. But listen, we already talked to the single people and the professionals. I want to also talk to the married people. One thing that women do a lot, and it works both ways. We got the Dunlap syndrome where the guys like the belly, Dunlapped over everything. But the women also, you can't, just because you've got a man or a partner doesn't mean that you're going to keep them by letting yourself go. It's about not letting yourself go. Some of you ladies out here look like Sears threw up in your closet and you already gave up. And then you wonder why your man's looking at his secretary, because she wears heels still. She's still sexy. She's still spicing it up. She didn't stop wearing makeup and cut all her hair off and switch teams. You know what I'm saying? So be obvious and be intentional that you want, whatever you did to get them is what you got to do to keep them. So we're not just talking about singles or professionals. We're talking to married people too. Your image and how you look affects your marriage and your confidence level. Your confidence level is what's going to help you not deal with your trust issues from your past. The more you can do to make yourself more confident, the stronger your relationship is going to be. Whether it's in a relationship or you want to get an old relationship back. Confidence is key, and confidence starts with self-care, self-love, and hygiene. We should not have to be explaining to people that you should brush your teeth. But as Dr. Canada has always taught me, even if you don't have a toothbrush, the best thing you can do for your teeth is to floss. Flossing. So many cavities are from actually not flossing. So y'all check out my girl, Dr. Canada. She is hilarious. You will love her chairside manner. And I'm a big wuss when it comes to going to the dentist, I'm telling you. But she makes me feel at ease. She makes me feel comfortable. She's super fun. She's got great stories that'll keep you entertained the whole time. Just don't become one of them. That's all we're saying, okay? All right, guys, y'all check out Dr. Canada at smilesbycanada.com. Tell her that you heard about us here at the Amber Neal Show. She might hook you up with some free x-rays or something like that. I don't know what her promotion is this week, but call to find out. Y'all go to smilesbycanada.com. For more information about us, go to amberneal.com, and thanks to our friends of the show at Events and Adventures, say that you heard about us here and get 6 months free. So your 12-month membership now becomes 18 months just by saying you saw us on Boss Up or the Amber Neal Show. For more information with them, go to eventsandadventures.com or call them today, 1-800-386-0866, or you can actually just get on the website, make your own appointment. You don't even have to talk to anyone, but you do have to go through a screening, and that's what I love about them. Events and Adventures is great for making friends, learning the city, finding love, get your bucket list out, and traveling all around the world with screened quality professionals. So check them out today. Tell them we sent you. And last but not least, our friends over at Maridate.com. Check them out. This is a private social club just for couples. Our focus is on mental health. You get to try 10 events before membership is required. Check us out, Events and Adventures, Maridate.com and AmberNeal.com. And Ryan didn't mention his website. If you want to get a copy of Ryan's new book, Believe So You Can Achieve, Yarborough16.com. And if you want one of my new shirts, No More Build-A-Boos, or my new book, How My Kitty Betrayed Me, y'all get all that at AmberNeal.com. Y'all stay tuned. We've got some more great shows coming for you here at the Amber Neal Productions. See you next time.
Maridate is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.